Hi bestie, welcome back. Today's episode 3 in our Colouring Every Page in the Cozy Home Colouring Book series. Colouring is my favourite self-care hobby at the moment, and it's literally just the perfect way to slow down, relax and unwind each week. So let's get started. So I've got my protective paper behind to prevent any bleed through. My markers here. And I also have a bigger set of markers that I will be using. So these are the other swatch cards that I'll be referring to while I colour. And this is our colouring page for today. I'm thinking of doing like a nighttime sunset kind of scene, so I hope I can create what I'm thinking of doing. So I'm starting with E490 and YR5 skin tone. So I'll start with this for the highlights and do this for the shadows. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I'm thinking of making this like a nighttime scene. So I want a lot of like well, not moonlit, more like sunset. And then going in with YR5. I'm using a light mahogany E060 to add a little bit of depth to her face, I think, where her neck is. I'm using Chestnut Brown Y13 to do her hair, and I do want to do some sort of glow effect at some point, but I'm not really sure where I want the light to be coming from. I think there's a lamp in the corner there, so that could be a good starting point, and where the sun is coming. But I was thinking of turning these apples into like candles, so I'm gonna see how that goes. But this is quite a dark colour actually. I might only do it for the tops of her hair. It's a bit darker than I was expecting. I'll go back in with light mahogany E060, and yeah, I think that looks nice. And then maybe I'll see if I can find just mahogany. I'll show you which colour I'm on about. Just mahogany, this one, Y12. It might be a good transition. I've got Y12, and yeah, I think that's much better. Okay. And then next I'll probably do some pink details. So I'm gonna grab our V260, which is just pink. And I think I'll start with her headband. I think that's could be nice. Pink. I'm thinking of making this more like a pink and purple. But the key is to try and make it nighttime. So I've done that, and I'll probably do her dressing gown. I'll just straighten out my protective sheet at the back of it. So I've got that pink, I think the skincare and soap as well. Do that pink. Maybe leave the center white. I might just do the tops of the shower stuff. And that looks pretty good. And I'm trying to think what else. I'll probably do these. Blinds as well. I think this has been the best way for me to keep my colour palettes a bit more controlled, is whilst I've got that one colour, if I try and plan out where I'm gonna put it. And I was thinking the lamp as well. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, I do forget. Sometimes I need to move up my protective sheet. And then next I'm grabbing Shadow Pink to try and do some shadows. So this is RV270. And that looks good. And then probably inside the dressing gown. And I'm trying to think where it makes sense. I think where like some of the folds are. Maybe around here. And this side. And a little bit on the belt. And then again, I think just where those folds are, maybe around here. And underneath the step bar. And then I think I'll just do a little glow around the lamp. I think that's looking good. I'll probably do some details. I'm thinking of like hearts, like quite a girly bathroom, the kind of bathroom I would want to have. So I've got R23, which is rose pink, and I'm gonna use the fine liner side. And I think I'll do little heart details on her dressing gown. and on the lamp as well. So I hope this looks good. Just doing like little dainty ones and a little bit lopsided if I can, so they don't look too perfect. Maybe like some half hearts as well. Let's see. I think that's looking cute. I just won't do any on the belt, maybe to help that stand out a little bit more as well. These hearts look like blobs. Yeah, I think that's cute. Oops. Okay. I think that looks really nice. And then I'm gonna add hearts on the lamp as well. Okay, I'm really liking this so far. So that's the pinks at the moment. And trying to think what to do next. I'll probably do, trying to think, maybe the walls. I was thinking of making those purple. And I think the color I had in mind was this color, which is V030 Mauve. There's also like a mauve shadow, so I'm not sure, but I think I'll just do this color as a base all over first and then have a little think about what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that all over the walls. I think this is the right idea anyway, I don't know. I think this will help make it a bit moodier and more nighttime setting, but this does seem a little bit too dark. Don't know what I'm doing. Maybe in the areas where it is going to be shadowed, maybe let me use this colour. But then I might use a lighter shade in the areas where I do want it to be a bit more in the light. Yeah, I think that could make sense. So I might just do this wall, this colour, and then grab a different colour for the other side. I'm going to turn my paper this way just to avoid any bleed. But do you think the purple and pink contrast really well against each other? that's one wall done. Because there's a lamp on this wall, I think this has to be the lighter wall, and then maybe this meets, I don't know. I think I'll do thistle, but let me grab my swatch card. So this is the colour that we've just used, which was mauve. I think pale lilac is a bit too pale. Viola could work, but I think it's a bit more cool-toned. The colour I was thinking was thistle. I think that probably works better, so this colour here. I'll just try that for now and see what that looks like. So this is RV160 Thistle, and I think the main area I'm going to focus it on is this wall because it's quite in the light. So I'm hoping this looks the way. Ooh. I am so worried for this page underneath. I need to be very mindful where I've got this sheet. Let me try and get it around the corner. Yeah. I'm not sure how far to take it, to be honest, but let me keep going. Okay, now it's finding a way for these colours to meet. Maybe I do need a little transition colour, like I think Viola could do the job, so I'm going to grab Viola as well. So this is V230, and yeah, I think that could work. I'm just gonna start going up a little bit of the wall where we're not as close to the main light source. I think around here and some of these areas here. Okay, I think that blends well. And then just layering that original colour. I think that looks okay for now, but I'm not sure if this is the best way to do it. And then for the rest of the wall at the bottom, we're going back to V030, that darker purple that we used here. So I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm hoping. Oh no, I think I did a part of the plant. I don't know, I can't tell because that pot doesn't connect all the way. I'll just stop there. I'll fix it if I accidentally did a bit of the plant. Okay, so it's this middle wall now. I think I'll do a little bit of that thistle and viola. I might just do thistle and viola for the rest of this wall, to be honest. So I'm gonna do thistle and then viola. I think I will do thistle up here. And I'll stop about here. And then because there's also going to be like a sun glow, maybe all the area around the window could be thistle. So might stop there and then grab viola again, V230, and blend that. To be fair, I might be better off doing thistle as the whole base and then blending viola out on top. I think that looks better. So let me try and cover the whole wall. I hope I haven't messed anything up here. Okay, so I think that works. And then I'll use viola to go over any areas I just want to have a little bit more shadowed. It looks a little bit messy, but that's okay. I think a lot of the areas I'm not happy with right now, I will fix with some acrylic markers. Okay, and then back to viola. I think that's a much better transition, but we'll see. And then back with thistle again, just so it's more blended and not as harsh. Yeah, I think that works for now. And I think I also had a really deep and mauve, so I had mauve shadow, which is R11, and I think I'm going to do that in areas where it's like really on the ground. this corner here. Maybe I'll just do like this part of the wall, but I don't know. I'll leave it for now. I'm really sorry if you can hear that sound. I think someone's using a power too outside. I do want to add a few gold details, so I'm going to do melon yellow and marigold. I hope it gives the vibe I want it to give. But I'm going to start with this. Yeah, I think that's a pretty close colour. And then I think I'll just do, I think all the other little details. But I will try and make some bits more wooden rather than gold. I'm trying to think, is that enough or do I keep going? I could also do this little stole and that as well, but I'm not sure if I want to do a different colour for those. But for now I think I like where I've put the detailing. And then I'm gonna grab marigold, which is YR2, and I'll just add a little bit of shading. I think that looks good. I am tempted to do it on the little side table in the window as well, but for now I won't. I'll pause. And I think what I'll do next is, oh, her legs, not me forgetting that. Okay, I'll go back with the colours I used for her skin, if I can remember what I used. I think it was deep orange and terracotta. So I'm just grabbing E490, which is deep orange. I always ask people this, but is it just me, or whilst you're colouring, sometimes are you like blind to certain details and then whilst you're doing it you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that, because I did not see those legs earlier on. I thought it was just part of the water. Here we go. Okay. Trying to think what's next. I think I am quite tempted to do the little sunset, get that looking more complete, and then add some colours, because I think, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode, but sometimes when I'm not sure what to do certain things, I'll just leave them and try and do certain things where it stands out a lot, because I don't want to accidentally make this take attention away from the view, because I think that's the main focal point, is the view. So I'm going to do the view and maybe like the plant pot and some details, then I'll come back and do the bathtub rug and the tiles underneath, because I think those are the ones I'm really not sure what colours I want to do. So for the view, I know I want to have yellow, so I do have Y3 with me, and I also want to have like a bit of an orangey pink, and I think my go-to for an orangey pink is always light orange or quince, so I think I will grab those two. So we've got quince and a light orange. I'm not sure where I put it. Okay, I found it. Got light orange. And then I do want to go into more of a pink. But I think more like I think the pink I have at the moment looks a bit too dark. But I don't know, it could work. So from light orange, I'll probably grab pastel rose, which is R9. Sorry if you can't see, I'm like grabbing the colours while I talk through it. And then from R9, I think I could go into R23, which is the pink that I do have with me. And then I do want it to go into like a bit of a deep purpley blue. So, based on the colours I have with me, I do like mauve, so I could do mauve, and I could also do lavender mist as my blue. So this is going to be a big blending job. I'm going to show you my lineup so you can see it. Some of them are upside down. Let me try and fix this. So I've got Y3, Y4, then YR070, then R9, R23, V030, and then B340. So I'm basically trying to do an ombre of all these colours. So wish me luck. So starting with Y3, which is barium yellow, I'm going to do like a little fake sun down here. And I think just to be careful, I might grab lemon chiffon. Yeah, so I've got Y030, just so the sun can stand out a bit more. So I'm just doing that all over the lower part of the sky. And then I am going back in with Y3. And then I'm going in with Y4. And the best way to do any sort of blend is to blend everything whilst it's still wet. So it's better to go fast. And then come back. So then going back in with Y3, just so that it doesn't look like such a harsh transition. And then my next colour is light orange. So these two are quite similar in tone, so I won't make this go up too high. I do want my pinks to start coming through very soon. And then leave that on the side. And then I'm grabbing R9. And I think that's such a perfect blend. I don't think I will go back in just yet. And then from R9, I'm grabbing R23. It is quite dark, so I'm gonna just do it very sparingly. And grab R9 again, which is the previous pink I had, which is a little bit less of a harsh pink. And I'm also just going to grab that light orange. I think that could blend quite nice. And then go back to R23. Okay, and then from R23, I think I will let it peek through at the top. Just there. And then go in but I might start out with like thistle, which is like a pinky purple, just so it doesn't look too harsh. And then go back to R23. Blend that a bit more. And then finally mauve. And I'm going to use thistle again to make this transition less harsh. And then lastly, I've got lavender mist at the very top. And I am going to blend that into mauve. And take mauve down a little bit lower. Okay, that looks really good. I really like that. I think that's giving perfect sunset vibes. And then I'm going to reflect just the top part of the blue and purple down into the water below and leave room for like a bit of the yellow like sun reflection. And then when in doubt, I always start with the lightest color. So I'm going to start with Y030, which is lemon chiffon, and I'm literally just taking it like this where I think the reflection would be, and then I'm going in with Y3 barium yellow and just doing like reflective lines. And then I think this all came in as a really good transition shade, so I'll probably do RV160 thistle on like the edges here. I'm just doing little flecks. And then from there, I'll go in with VO30. I hope you can see that, which is mauve. And I'm just taking that to the outer part. So I'll probably do this all over the water, or yeah, I think I'll do this all over the water actually, and then I'll come in with the more blue tone. So now I'm going in with lavender mist, which is B340. And I think I'm just gonna do it as like little waves in the water. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. I think that's our water complete for now. This might be too harsh down here, so I might grab like the viola, which is V230, 2 3 0, and just do a very, 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 very soft blend. Okay, I think that's looking good. Got so many colours all around here, so I'm just gonna put a few of them away. So then that kind of helped, but that still leaves other details. So I think the next best bet is to go in with my greens. I was thinking of doing something more like this, but I don't know if I want to do like actual true greens, more on like the brighter side, but I don't know. So this is giving something else I need to leave till the end. I think something to help though is, let me grab R1, which is coral pink, and I'll just start adding some of those darker details. I think that looks good. Trying to think where else to use it. It could work for the apple. I do want to still turn this into a candle, so bear with me. Okay, I think that's a bit for balance. And then here, I think I'll do like an ombre effect with maybe R9. If I start this part in the light, I'll just do it all over actually. And then push this protective sheet to the edge. I do like this colour. I think I should use it a bit more on this page. So I've got that, and then the part that's in the dark. I'll do that. Very soft blend. I'm trying to think where's the best place to add more of this colour. I could do it on her towel, maybe. And then do the rest of the towel in pink, which is RV260. Maybe not. Actually, that doesn't look terrible. Let me leave that alone for now. I am thinking to use rose pink a little bit. And then do R9 on the side. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but okay, that's done. And then I still have R9 in my hands, so I think I could use it on some of these details here. And a little bit on the bathrobe. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then a tiny bit on the lamp. Okay, so what's next? Maybe, I think shadow pink could work. So I've got RV270, and I think on the sails, I do need to commit to a green very soon. I am thinking, let me just do the greens I picked out in the first place and hope they turn turn out okay. So I'd picked out dusty jade green and teal. So I'd start with dusty jade green, which is G6. And I'm just going to start with the palm trees. There's like a bluey green kind of vibe. And I thought it would be perfect for doing more of like a nighttime scene, so it wouldn't be like a properly bright green. And I do have these like heels, so and I'll just do them all this green colour. And then I'm also going to do the plant in the bedroom, that same colour. Not bedroom, bathroom. I think that's looking good. And then I was gonna use teal to add some shading. So I think, let me, I think that's looking good. I'm really happy with that. I'm trying to think what else to do. Maybe I'll move on to like the bubbles in the bathtub, and I think I'm gonna try and do a bit of like a reflective kind of vibe with like pink, purple and yellow. And I think the best way to do this is to grab really pale shades of the colours. I've never really done this before, so hopefully it turns out okay. So I've got viola, pink and lemon chiffon, so that's a V230, RV260 and Y030. So I think, let me start with pink first, and I think just do like anywhere, I don't know. Yeah, and then I'm grabbing yellow and just doing the same, adding little splashes randomly. And then I don't know about purple, if that's the best idea. I might grab like frost blue or something just for a bit of contrast. Let's see. So I've got B030, which is frost blue, and I'm just adding little splashes of that to the bubbles. I think that's cute. And then I think do the same for the water as well, like a bit of frost blue. I'm just doing this as like little dots. And then pink. I think because I have so much purple everywhere else in the room, and because the pink and the blue naturally create a bit of a purple, I won't add purple to the water or the bubbles. And then I'll probably do, where is it? That lavender mist colour, which was B340, just to add some like depth. And I think it does make it look more like it's nighttime. Okay, I think that's looking good. I'm gonna leave that as it is. And then if my white acrylic marker decides to work, this could really be nice for the reflective effect. If not, I'll find an alternative option. So I have this white acrylic marker from Artix. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully today it works. So I'm just gonna add, I don't think that's really done anything, but it's okay. I was thinking of adding like a little reflective bubble, but I might just add it to the water instead to look like some bubble bath. Yeah, I think that's looking good. Just little splashes. Okay, and then what else? I think my best bet is to make this like that goldy yellow kind of colour that I did before, and maybe make the tray on top pink. So I think I already have pink here, which is RV260. So I'm just doing that little tray pink. And then I'm grabbing melon yellow again, which is YR33. And I'm gonna do this little wooden table. And then I'm grabbing, I think it was marigold that I used. Yeah, so I'm grabbing YR2, and I'm just gonna do some shadows. And then I'll actually carry this on into the soil. And I've also got terracotta, which is YR5, just to make that soil a bit darker. And I also have light mahogany, E060, and again, I'm gonna go over that soil. I think I'm happy with that. I'm gonna grab, I think it was mauve, which is VR30, and I'm just gonna do these little like holes in the plant. I'm trying to think what to do next. Let's see. Because I'm not sure what colour I want to do this lining, whether I want to keep it that same gold colour as well, or maybe make it pink, or I don't know. I think, let me try and handle the floor and the bathtub first. I think my best bet with the bathtub could be, let me see. It could be like a pale lilac colour, just to stay like on theme, because I do want the main attraction to be the window. So I think if the bathroom is almost like all purple and pink, that could be okay. So I'm gonna try and grab pale lilac for the bathtub. Let's see. So I've got V020. And I think again, I'm just gonna do this very carefully. It does blend in a little bit, but I'm hoping that's not a problem, because I do want to add a bit of like a light glow effect, so I think that could help a little bit. I'm not sure if that was the best decision, but we're here. And then I've got V030, and I'm just gonna do really subtle shadow. Okay, I think that looks fine. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's honestly fine. Maybe if I just take this around. Yeah, I think that's good. And then, okay, let me just keep going down the purple route. I'm gonna grab, I think it was mauve shadow, because I don't want to do anything too drastic. Yeah, I'll just grab mauve shadow, the color I used at the bottom here, and just do the floor as well. And then I will use my acrylic marker to try and do a bit of like a glow effect, and I think that should help brighten the page up a bit. So I'm just trusting the process. I am very tempted to do like a minty green rug, but I think my best bet is to do it pink and stay on theme with this bathroom. just gonna do the rug pink. So where is it? Okay, so I've got pink here, RV260. And then I've been using, I'm trying to think, what color did I use to do the shading? I think I used pastel rose. So I'm just gonna use R9 to do like a soft shadow around where the bathtub is and just where the table is as well. And then I'm using Shadow Pink RV270, and I'm just gonna add a bit of texture to the rug. And I'll use, where is it? Yep, got R23, if you can see that, rose pink, and I'll add a bit more texture to the rug. I think that looks good, and to balance everything out, I don't know, I'm either stuck between doing like a hot pink around this or just make it gold. I don't know. I think maybe let me make the tops of these hot pink. Let me just make it gold, otherwise I think it might end up looking too pink. So I'm grabbing melon yellow again if I can find it. Oh, I'm not sure where I've put it. Okay, so I've got melon yellow and marigold to do that window. I hope this is the right choice. Yeah, I think that's the right decision. And then I'll do my light effect. I actually really like that. And then I'm gonna use marigold very gently just to add a bit of depth. Trying to make it look more 3D. for the light effect, which I'm very nervous about, I've got more Arctic's colours with me. So I've got T112 and I've also got T010. So I'm starting off with the lightest one, which is T010, and I'm gonna try and do that candle that I promised. And I'm just gonna do candle flame. And one there as well. That might be too light actually. And then, actually let me grab the warmer yellow. Yeah, much better. So I'm gonna wait for that to dry and then I will draw like a black outline around it. And then around the sun as well, just making that more yellow. And then this is the part I'm gonna try out. I'm grabbing a cotton round and I'm gonna like pat areas of like glow, but I don't know, so I'm doing that. And where the lamp is, I hope that looks good. Grab a bit more. Do like a little glow effect. And then I think around this part of the bathtub. Okay, I think it's better if I rub it rather than patting it. Okay, keep going. Okay, so I've got that, we've got that, and I think I'll do like just around the trim of the bathtub where the sun is coming through, and then maybe if the door is open, I think this part on the floor could make sense. I'm very uncertain, but it's fun to experiment. And then maybe softly around. And I'm trying to think if that ends there, or maybe I will do like little stars in the sky. Like little... Yeah, I think that could be cute. I'm gonna do little sparkles glowing. This actually looks very cute. I'm not sure about my splashes, but I'm just trying to experiment and have fun with colouring, guys. And then I can do some sparkles on the water as well. I think I'll just try and make it look very dreamy. Yeah. Maybe some near the candle as well. And near the lamp. And just around the wall a little bit. highlights. Yeah, I think that's a good one actually. I'll outline where I would have done highlights. I think maybe here. And then again, if the door is open, that would be quite lit. And along the rug. On the towel, a little bit of her hair. And the stove. And then maybe a little bit of the dressing gown. I hope this looks good. And then I don't know if I should add more sparkles near like the bubbles and stuff. Just make it look very dreamy. Around the bathtub. And then I do have this lighter shade, which I think the warm yellow does it well anyway, but I think just for some of the sparkles to help them stand out, I could use this lighter shade, which looks kind of like white. Yeah, I think that looks better with the sparkles. Yeah, I think that looks so much better. And I'm also just gonna do it along here. I'm trying to think where else. I think I just need to colour the tree. I'm just using any brown I could find. I'm actually really proud of this. I think my blushes were interesting, but I'm happy I experimented. And this is what it's looking like. I'm just gonna let it dry for a little bit before I like touch it, and I might like tidy up and then I'll come back and close off the video. So here's how today's page turned out. Thank you so much for colouring with me. I hope this was the perfect cozy little space for you to just relax and unwind, and I will see you next week for episode number 4, where we'll be doing this gorgeous page together. And I really hope that you enjoy this as much as I did. So make sure you're subscribed and that you've got your notifications turned on so you don't miss the next episode when it goes live. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm so grateful for all the kind words you always leave in the comment section. I literally love reading through every single one of them. They honestly warm my heart so much. And also let me know in the comments if you coloured along with me and experimented with this little page like I was doing, or if you chose to go a different route and use a different colour palette. But yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye bestie.